What would a President JD Vance be like? With Donald Trump's rapidly declining health, both mental and physical, I definitely think that this is a topic that we should dive into together. I don't think anyone is overly excited by the prospect of getting JD Vance, as glad as we would be to have Donald Trump hit the road no matter which way he goes. Everyone is timid about JD Vance because JD Vance is a spineless, amoral prick who himself said he was a never Trump guy, someone who called Donald Trump America's Hitler. But I believe that JD Vance was put in that position by the billionaire elite class, hoping that there might be a time for him to take over because let's face it, Donald Trump is clearly rapidly declining, and also the guy is almost 80 years old. So either way you cut it, there is a chance Donald Trump will not serve out a full 4 years. I believe that as soon as a President JD Vance would take over, a lot of things would immediately change. One of them is, I believe, tariffs would be out the window. I don't think the billionaires who put a JD Vance there really like these tariffs. Anything that they could do to get cheap labor is viewed as a plus. I also think that some of the immigration push would probably decline because, again, cheap labor is a plus for the elite and the rich in the country. They want the status quo. They want to keep making a lot of money, and they don't want anything that's going to shake that up at all. Now, I understand that JD Vance is still tied in with Project 2025 and some of that disgusting stuff, but I also just think that the overall bottom line is, above all else, he was put there by rich elite billionaires to make sure that the money keeps flowing in. Now, while I still think JD Vance is an immoral, spineless a-hole, one thing I do not think he has is a lot of charisma. I cannot envision JD Vance being able to hold together the MAGA movement, because to me, the MAGA movement is all just built around the cult leader, Donald Trump. So many of these Donald Trump supporters only even became interested in politics because of Donald Trump. And I am hard-pressed to believe that many of these MAGA faithful are still going to have this same passion that they do for a Donald Trump for JD Vance. He just doesn't have that charisma. Even if we hate Donald Trump, he has this charisma to brainwash these MAGA yokel morons, and I don't think that JD Vance has that. So I'm not even sure if it was to go to an open primary, if JD Vance would even get the nomination from the Republican Party. And I believe that a JD Vance running in the general president's election against, say, a Gavin Newsom would get his clock absolutely cleaned. I think that for this reason alone, a President JD Vance, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And in the end of the day, we already know for sure what we have in Donald Trump. He's an insurrectionist, traitor piece of shit. And I would like to see him out of the Oval Office no matter how it happens. Because I know for sure Donald Trump has no plans of leaving on his own. A President JD Vance. Not something any of us are excited about, but I think it's something that we should all be getting ready for. And that's what it is. Throw me a follow.